the great stone chamber of Castle Vesperhold, King Alaric lay restless upon his silk-draped bed. Moonlight slanted through ornate windows, gilding tapestries of ancient ancestors. As Alaric drifted into uneasy slumber, his mind conjured a fearful dream. All his teeth crumbled and fell away. One massive white fang remained in the center of his gums, shining like a lonely star in an empty sky. He awoke in a cold sweat, heart pounding. To Alaric, dreams were not idle fantasies but whispers of fate. By dawn, he resolved to seek counsel. At first light, trumpets sounded through Vesperhold's courtyards. Servants hurried to the Hall of Councils, where King Alaric sat upon his marble throne. Before him knelt two men, Professor Thorn, a respected scholar with stern eyes and a clipped tone, and Lorenzo, a humble youth whose clever gaze belied his simple robes. Alaric's voice trembled with urgency. "My dream portends doom. Professor Thorn, speak plainly what fate awaits my line." Professor Thorn rose, voice echoing in the vaulted hall. "Your Majesty, the sight of teeth falling heralds death. Each missing tooth is a life extinguished. The lone fang means only one shall endure. Your kin, your heirs doomed. Grieve their passing, for the last life standing will be thine." A hush fell. Faces paled. Alaric's jaw clenched. King Alaric leapt from his throne, robes billowing. "How dare you speak? Such horror," he thundered. With a flick of his gauntleted hand, he ordered Thorn bound in iron and cast into the dungeon. "Your words wound deeper than any blade," Alaric spat. "Depart my sight." Thorn's haughty composure cracked as he was led away, shackles clinking. The next morning, whispers filled Vesperhold's corridors. Has the king lost reason? But at sunrise, Lorenzo stood before the throne alone. "Your Majesty," he began, "I too have pondered your dream." Alaric studied the youth skeptically, then nodded curtly. Lorenzo bowed, voice calm. "The lone fang remains strong when all else is gone. You will outlast adversity, guiding your people through every storm. Your reign will endure." At Lorenzo's words, tension melted from Alaric's face. Relief sparkled in his eyes. He pounded his scepter upon the dais. "By thy wisdom, Lorenzo, my heart is lightened. No sorrow shall bind me in shadows." He rose, sweeping red cloak swirling, and bestowed upon Lorenzo a purse of gold and a radiant medallion. Courtiers murmured in awe as the king declared, "Your words have lifted a kingdom's spirit." When court fell silent, Lorenzo approached the dais. "Your Majesty, my patience revealed that the two interpretations were identical in truth. The dream foretold you alone would remain. But Professor Thorn spoke only of loss. I chose words of endurance." He lifted the medallion. "Words shape destiny's shape. Harsh utterances wound the heart. Gentle speech can heal it." Alaric nodded gravely, absorbing the lesson. Far below, in the dim confines of the dungeon, Thorn paced restlessly within his cell. Shackled not only by chains but by the weight of his own guilt, he could not escape the memory of the king's fury. "My words were true," he muttered to himself, his voice a low rasp in the stillness. Yet truth alone does not excuse cruelty. Each step he took echoed his regret, and as the shadows seemed to close in around him, he silently made a vow to himself. Should he ever taste freedom again, he would temper his honesty with compassion, understanding that truth, when wielded without care, could harm as much as it healed. In the weeks that followed, Alaric's court underwent a profound transformation. Those who once spread whispers of discord were now met with calm and measured counsel, their ill intentions diffused by Alaric's steady hand. Harsh proclamations that had once filled the air were replaced by speeches of hope and unity, each word carefully chosen to uplift rather than divide. Even in the face of dire crises, banners torn by the ravages of war, the plague threatening the very gates, the king's words brought comfort to all who listened. "Though shadows may fall, remember that a single ember can light the night," he would say, his voice steady and resolute, invoking Lorenzo's spirit of boundless possibility and reminding his people that even in the darkest moments, there was always hope to be found. One dusky evening, Alaric made his way down to the dungeon, his footsteps echoing in the stillness of the stone halls. Upon reaching Thorn's cell, he found the heavy door left ajar, its lock broken. As he stepped inside, the scholar emerged from the shadows, his body trembling with unease. "My liege," Thorn stammered, his voice faltering. "I beg your forgiveness for the cruelty of my words." Alaric, with a compassionate gaze, placed a steady hand on Thorn's shoulder, offering silent reassurance. "I forgive you," he said softly. "Your wisdom remains intact, now tempered, refined by the warmth of kindness." With a firm but gentle grip, Alaric clasped Thorn's arm, leading him back through the dark corridors and up to the light of the court. There he reinstated Thorn as chief interpreter, knowing that the scholar would now serve with a deeper understanding of the true power of words. Lorenzo, called upon to return to his homeland, knelt before Alaric with deep respect. "Thank you, sire," he said, his voice steady yet filled with gratitude. "May the words I speak carry hope and light wherever my journey takes me." Alaric, his expression warm and knowing, embraced him tightly. "Go forth with my blessing. Lorenzo, may your kind and gentle voice lead and inspire many along your path." As Lorenzo made his way out through the castle gates, he left behind a final, invaluable gift to the kingdom: the profound understanding that every word spoken holds immense power and influence. Under the vast expanse of the stars that adorned the night sky, Alaric found himself standing tall upon the ancient battlements, his voice barely rising above the soft whispers of the wind. He spoke with a quiet intensity. "Words possess the power to shape destinies. Let them be the bridges that connect us, not the walls that divide us." Far below him, the peaceful town of Vesperhold lay in tranquil slumber, its people's hearts eased and their burdens lightened by the wisdom of such thoughtful counsel. Moral of the story: careful words can heal or harm. Speak with kindness and wisdom, for in each phrase lies the power to shape hearts, mend relationships, and transform fate.